Hello and welcome to our discussion segment on Good Morning Anambra. Today, you see, as we approach the November 8th gubernatorial election, which is happening on Saturday, all eyes are on us, the Anambra, and our state. And while voter education and preparedness have become more critical than ever, what should the voters know? What should they look out for? What should be the bane for our going out to vote on November 8th?
Yeah, how can we ensure free, fair, and credible elections? And most of all, how can citizens make their votes truly count? All right, so that's what we'll be discussing in this segment of the Good Morning Anambra, where we'll be discussing Anambra November 8th gubernatorial election, what to look out for while voting. All right.
Yes, here in the studios we have people who have the credibility of monitoring and experiencing elections and also telling people what to do so that elections will turn out fine. First, normally we say ladies first. So first of all, bring to you the Executive Director of Center for Transparency Advocacy, CTA, and that is Ms. Faith Mwadishi. She's an Amazon, and then critically civil society activist. So we welcome you to Anambra, all the way from Abuja.
Thank you so much. Good morning, in the Anambra.
You look so much like me. Somebody said, "Is she your sister?" I said, "Nobody. I don't even know. I don't really know, but we're sisters as like."
Exactly, from different mothers.
Yes. And then we also have the Executive Director of Catch Them Young Community Initiative, Katikoi. Our own he for she, non so or so you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, the Anambra Kainoliano.
Okay. Now, first of all, Ubina, I think the first thing we should ask on this pedestal is, as we get prepared for the November 8th elections, how should we verify that, verify everything we're doing before the election date? How should we know what to do and not what to do?
So thank you very much. This is another election after 4 years for the Anambra, and uniquely, the Anambra election was the one that kicked off the off-cycle elections before we now had other states. So Anambra has always been the model for off-cycle elections after the general elections and the other elections. So it's not a new thing. The Anambra have been part of this. So what we need to know first and foremost is that as a voter, you should have your voter's card. If you're 18, did you register? Were you able to collect your voter's card? I think it was extended till last Sunday for people to be able to get their PVCs. Now, it is important, that PVC is a very important document for you. It's your identity. It's actually the tool that you need to use to hire and fire. And it's something very important. That is what makes you the CEO of Anambra State.
Don't even venture
yes,
out.
no, if you don't have it, don't go out to vote. You don't have any business on the 8th of November to come out to the polling unit, because that's the first thing, that's your first identity. In fact, on that day, that's your identity card. Every other identity is just Jara, but that's your identity card to be able to do that.
All right, Ms. Wandishi, still on you, we'll go to Mr. Anoso. Now, we've seen the, I won't call it noise, but the attention on Anambra. Why so much attention on Anambra? We know it's actually an off-cycle election, but there seems to be that, intensity of focus on Anambra.
Yes, like I said in my opening statement, that Anambra is a model for all of the off-cycle elections, and you shouldn't be surprised. The police is saying we're bringing 45,000 police people to Anambra. Civil defense said they're bringing 10,000. So you don't know DSS, you don't know correctional service, you don't know FRSC, you don't know immigration. All of those people are going to deploy. So you already have 55,000 security officials on ground in Anambra. That's how important the Anambra election is. Considering also that in the southeast, Anambra plays a very significant role. Anambra is one state where you have had opposition for a long time. It is ABGA that is ruling here. So you have all the other political parties around the southeast. And so it is so interesting, it's so tense. And again, you know that the people are so politically aware. It's just unfortunate that on election day, people don't come out to vote. And you're asking, the last election, you just had about 10%. Now you have about 2.8 million people on the voter register. And people are not coming out. So outsiders are paying more attention to Anambra than the insiders. In the Anambra
Oh, wow,
themselves
serious?
are not paying that kind of attention that outsiders. Imagine, if yesterday I was doing the math, for 55,000 security operations here, you have 5,720 polling units. That means if you have to distribute these 55,000 without the others, you will have at least 9 security personnel in the polling unit. So you see that this is also to help calm the situation. It has both a negative and a positive side
That's the
to
question I
it.
keep asking
You
people
understand?
that
Yes.
I've been talking with on radio and TV this past few days. You know, is it not going to send fear into the minds of the electorate? You know, and also, what's your thought about this situation that we have now?
Well, to me, the engagements we've had with the police, the idea of deploying these men is not actually to harm the electorate. You know, in Anambra, we have more of a kind of a flashpoint, you know, for security, intelligence, and all of that. So when such things, you know, before now, we know what has been happening in terms of security in Anambra State. It's not been easy, especially in the Anambra South, you know, part of Anambra South and other areas. So deploying such number of security personnel is, you know, from the outcome of crimes and, you know, insurgents we've had in the past prior to the elections. So I believe that added to this deployment of that number of security. And as such, to me, I don't have issue with that. Why I don't have issue with that is that there are certain police personnel that will man the polling units. And those who are with arms will just be patrolling and all of that. So those who will be taking that kind of scenario as a means of fear are those who wants to cause chaos in the field. So I want to use this medium to tell the Anambra, haven't gone through the trainings with the police and the orientation they have actually dished out to the electorates. So they should calm down and know that those deployment of security personnel is for our safety. It's not a thing to panic about.
Okay, now, Faith, you have had experience walking through elections or in different parts of the country and all this. Anambra, like you said, is an off-cycle election. So what lessons do you think we can learn from other elections that have trended recently?
Okay, so one thing very unique about the Anambra election is that from all of the elections I have observed across all these off-cycle elections, national elections, you find out that on an election, the Anambra election is usually most peaceful. Prior to the election, there's tension. The last election, there was a lot of tension. Even some of my observers, they were called, their families were saying, don't come, but we were here. I was here personally. But on an election, there was no single incidence of violence. And if you look at the trend for Anambra, prior to the election, there's always that tension, you know, like this election is not as tense as the last election. The last election, you can actually use a knife to cut the tension. But on election day, aside from Ihala, where they had to postpone election to the next day, there was not a single incidence of violence. So we need to be able to share this example. What is it that they do in Anambra that makes it possible not to have any single election day violence? You don't have ballot snatching, you don't even have any fracas on election day. But after election is a different story. But on that election day, that's one thing that is unique that we have seen, you know, increasingly going forward into the Anambra election. And then also, you see that before the Anambra election, there's always this very serious infighting among the political class because they are very much aware, and the players, the contenders are people who can hold their own at any time. So you see that tension with the people and all of that. But again, there's something that is very, you can say it's common among all of the elections, the issue of vote buying. The issue of vote buying is there, and that's why I want to address this issue of security. of all the elections, you see the police will come as, oh, we have 25,000, we have 35,000, but you don't see that number on ground on election day. You're not able to verify that this number they have branded before the election is actually the number of elections that they have put on ground. I came to an Anambra one by-election, one senatorial by-election, and that time, because it was just one senatorial by-election, the police had said they were going to deploy about 20,000 security officers for one by-election, a senatorial district in Anambra State. I went around that senatorial district. If you find out that in some of the polling units, there was not even a single presence of police or security. But one thing unique that the community people did, they brought out a bench, and the elderly people of that community were the ones sitting in those polling units, providing security. I've never seen it happen anywhere. Only in Anambra I saw that happen. So just imagine that in Anambra, people understand that elections are very important to them. They need to protect their ballot. They need to protect this mandate. You can see them working together to ensure that there is no fracas within their communities. And this is something unique, and I think should be documented and shared. Let community people come out during these conversations about what should we do about peace, credibility of the election, engage community people. Before this election, we were at Orumba South, you know, but there were some communities who couldn't approach, even security people couldn't even lead us to certain communities. Before, that was in September, we came here, we went to some places, but the kind of experience we had in Orumba South, we didn't have in other local government areas, because now you now designate that place as a flashpoint. And most likely, because of some of those communities you cannot enter, you're not even sure if election will happen there. Because if before election, security people are saying we can't go to certain places, then what happens on election day? Are you now going to bring the number of persons to go there, militarize that place? The likelihood is that the people will rather stay back. You understand? It is good to assure people that, with the presence of all of these security people, there's going to be peace, there's going to be that. But I don't have a fear on election day, because in the last 2-3 elections, I have been here and I've seen that on election day, you hardly have violence in Anambra. We must give kudos to the people of Anambra State, because they are the ones who are making this happen. They are the ones who have refused to partake in that violence. But finally, let me just put this on the table, the issue of vote buying. The issue of vote buying, very interesting. It was in this Anambra, when we came for one of the elections, that they saw somebody, I think, I can't remember the local government area, let me not talk about that. They saw somebody with cash. It was also in this Anambra, one of the local government areas, polling unit I went to. People were paying for votes from a police van that was stationed on that polling unit in this Anambra. I'm telling you.
Probably police kept it in their van.
No, it wasn't the police, it was the political people.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, it can be said, okay, it was said that the police was,
somehow, yes. So you know what happened? You know what happened?
No, probably it is a misinterpretation.
No, because I was there. I was there. I monitored it. I observed it.
Let's listen to what Obi wants to say.
Yes.
No, see, don't get me wrong.
It's right there. It's already the police.
Probably the police seized the money.
And then it was helping to distribute it.
No, they were not distributing it. They were protecting those who were distributing the money.
Okay, they were protecting those.
Yes. So you know,
probably that's the kind of holding them.
I know that was. That was a bit. The truth of the matter is, what happened in that particular polling unit was that as soon as you collect the money, you go home. And say, I've collected the money, you come out.
That's what police is doing is the Robin Hood.
That is vote buying. No, that's.
I don't understand what Obi is saying. Which one is Robin?
I also don't understand it too. So that's why we are asking. All right.
Tomorrow they will come and talk about it.
So that happened a long time ago. Yes.
So you actually you've done great with the category, very much connected with the young people. You've worked closely with them over the years. So let's look at how well the youth be participating in these upcoming elections. How can their participation influence the credibility of this election? We've heard her saying that we've seen old persons even guarding vote in some localities. So what can you do to do better to bring credibility towards this election on Saturday?
Okay, for us at Katikoi, ours is to keep engineering orientation to young people. And trust me, in the field, sometimes we don't get it funny that young people are dissatisfied with what happened in 2023. And as such, there is this mind, I'm not coming out again. In fact, I am not, no, so, so you shoot me gun to vote for this election. Okay, last Sunday, was it last Sunday? I am a Catholic and also an altar server. So I was privileged to serve, though I've been serving anyway, but that Sunday was an exception where I requested that the priest should give me a few minutes to sensitize people on the coming elections. So I stood up, I was like, what do we have on Saturday? Can someone tell me what we have on Saturday? So I said, so one or two voices were like, election. Okay, I said, fine. How many of us will vote on Saturday? The video is there. I don't know, had it been, I would have given it to you to play. So, but it doesn't matter, maybe you play it in another of your programs. So, I said, how many of you will vote? Do you know, nobody raised his or her hand in that meeting. Wow. It was children that raised their hands. And
because they may not probably understand.
I looked back, I saw one man and also a lady. Just
in like a church, I know your church and how big it is.
No, that one is an outstation, not that general one, but it's still in the same church, but 7 a.m. mass in St. Anthony. We call it students' mass, where you have more of young people, and lecturers and workers. So you see how bad it has gotten. Even when we are preaching, when we are trying to sensitize people, when we are trying to engage young people, please don't deter, don't be demoralized. Come out and then repeat what you have done in 2027, 2023. Nobody wants to do that. So what I'm trying to say is this: we'll keep pushing it at least today and tomorrow. By 3 or 4, we'll still have community engagement where we'll sensitize people tomorrow. In the morning around 10 also, we are going to do same still. But in as much as we are doing that, I want to also say that we are envisaging voter apathy again in this coming election, okay? And that will not, it will not treat Anambra better. But slightly, maybe it might be different, a bit different from what it used to be, but there will be voter apathy.
At least from 10%.
You can imagine.
Okay, now, when campaign started, you see political parties, it was like they were exchanging fisticuffs through the mouth. You know, everybody was just everybody was calling each other black and everything. Do you understand? Trying to destroy each other's image and all these. And but thank God that just about, I think it was last week, we had, was it last week?
You mean the peace?
The peace talk
on Wednesday.
On Monday.
It was on Monday.
Yes, it was on Monday.
We had the peace talk and we saw people who we thought were, enemies, embracing, shaking hands, smiling and exchanging pleasantries. And it calmed our nerves, and we said political parties and the candidates just took one big step towards making peace. But we can't rely on that, because after that we started seeing all negative comments about candidates flying too. So how can the political parties help to create a peaceful and credible election in Anambra this time around?
It's already, you see, my sister here established something that prior to the election, any election in Anambra, you see a whole lot of chaos, exchange of words, verbal abuses and all of that. But coming to the election day, it's a different ballgame. But what I'm trying to say is, before elections, I think political parties has a very big role to play. Why this thing happened is that people normally leave issue based campaigns, telling people what if you have a kind of a manifesto that you need to let out, and you digress from it to do a different thing, you won't have time. In fact, anybody that is focused, before you finish your manifesto, you have no time, to begin to exchange words with anybody. So I think it still boils down to, what do you have to do for the people of Anambra or for the people of any state? That will go a long way to curb this exchange of
words,
words, because you need to articulate what you need to tell the people. But let me tell you, anybody who has the nature of talking, it will not go. It will not just fizzle away. You know, during elections, he will always want to talk. But the fact is that transform your talking to action. To action, you know, to a positive action that can influence people to, vote for you and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is this: political party will also look at it at the screening stage. What do you have to tell us? Show us your manifesto. How do you want to carry this manifesto up? What do you want to achieve with this manifesto? Is it verbal abuse, even when you are doing it? I understand that sometimes people doesn't endure. Okay? Once you attack them, they will find a way to act, either directly or indirectly. If you attack them, they want to attack you back by themselves. Or they will use their subordinates, their mercenaries.
Now, do you have a contrary opinion? Because now we're talking about, I don't think manifesto thrives now. But what we're looking at now is also a traction that will get to the polling booth next tomorrow.
Okay, so
by political parties.
For me, I like the fact that they do this peace accord and all of that. I've now seen it as a ritual. Because at the end of the day, who is held accountable? It's a voluntary thing. People come out voluntarily to sign that peace accord. But I have advocated that until they make that signature justiciable, so that if you are caught, or your subordinates, or people that you have sent to the field, your party agents, your party members are caught, the perpetuating acts of violence and election, that you will be held responsible.
Do you think they will want to sign it?
They will not do that. So each time you come, it is a big ceremony. But again, that ceremony should send a message to the people. Politicians have a slogan: permanent interest, not permanent friend, not permanent foe, but permanent interest. So if my interest is here, this is where I will be, even if it is my enemy that is eating on that table of my interest. But you see, their followers don't think like that. These politicians
are still very much connected to this political party. In fact, there was one video trending, I think, during the week. I think the ABGA, one of the ABGA rallies, and one of these this man was so emotional, singing the party, singing the party
anthem. You can imagine.
And the party said, this is how committed
we are. So you can imagine that these people, they will go back, have dinners, their daughters and sons are marrying, they're having business deals, and you are there fighting. Some husbands and wives even divorced because of party problems. You understand? Because of party problems. Then you don't gain anything. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones who are the leaders of the political parties. And so they know how to talk about that. Look at the defection that is happening across the country. How would you have imagined? You talked about people voting in 2023. Those votes that you voted, where are they now? They have all decamped. So,
and that's why
because we need to talk about this issue of credible election of 2023. We need to have a narrative about that. When we are selling, and this is when you talk about misinformation and disinformation. When you are selling what happened in 2023, because it suits a particular kind of narrative, people want to believe it and keep pushing it. And when you push it, people will stay back. If you stay back, you don't come out for election day. Those who come out, because in Nigeria it's simple majority. Those who come out will decide for you. Yes. So you're staying at home, you have already voted. You're staying at home, you have already voted, because if they say 10 people in this polling unit, 3 people will come out. That's simple majority. 7 people didn't come out, 3 people have decided who will rule you. So whether you like it or not, in the next 4 years are going to be part of that. So hate speech, all of those drama that we see on campaigns is what is everywhere globally. Look at when the US election was happening. Look at the US election that just ended now. The president of the US was practically calling people stupid who voted for other people. Do you understand? So it happens everywhere, but it's left for the electorate to understand that it is my responsibility to decide what is right. And that is why I keep saying, you see, without your PVC, you are the Oga Patapata and Madam at the top. On election day, can you imagine that somebody gets into office 4 years, he doesn't go to certain places, but before election campaign, they go to those places.
The nooks and crannies.
They come, why do you think they come to you? And you know this issue of saying our votes don't count. You say, I don't want to come and vote because this one. Let me tell you, the reason why politicians are taking money to the polling units.
Because it actually does count.
Thank God, Anambra is a business state. Do you put investments in money in an investment that you won't get returns on investment? So election is an investment that politicians are waiting for return on investment. That's why they are willing to give you that 5,000, that 3,000. In fact, there's one state that they put Gary, 1 cup of Gary, this 50 naira granite, 2 cubes of sugar, and put somebody's face on it and we're giving to people. And it is mostly women who go up to queue. And it's women that even decide that. So if you decide to stay at home, to say, no, I don't want to be part of this election, you have decided who will rule you the next time. Because those people who will come out will definitely be there. So let's not stay. Two things we must understand. You see, that PVC that we have now, and this a technical system that INEC is using now, ensures that you cannot take my card to go and vote for another person. No. You cannot take my, except you remove my head.
Yes, it can easily be tracked.
Yes, not even tracked. You can't even go anywhere because it is your biometrics and your face.
Yeah.
So it's either you remove my face and put your own face before you can use my card. Look at before 2023 election, those PVCs that politicians kept, they began to throw them on Express Road. Why?
They can use it.
So please, if you decide to say you won't come out to vote in this Anambra, please, you have done yourself and your children and your future a disservice. Please come out to vote. Don't let 10% of people decide for the remaining 90%. Be the one to be in the forefront to say, I vote, I'm not taking money. It was also in Anambra, we saw one old woman that refused to take money in the last election. So we need to be able to do that.
Yeah, but you know, my concern now that you mentioned disinformation, misinformation, and fake news, hate speech, and all these, it now reminds me about the role of the media and then of civil society.
Exactly.
And also, have we been able to do our bit? Or then, if we have, should we stop and then relax that the people can now take care of themselves, or do we continue even at the polling unit?
No, we are not continuing. We are not, sorry, we are not
okay,
discontinuing.
we're not continuing. Let's stop.
We are not, no, we are not discontinuing. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Just a few days ago, I was here to discuss about that. And we have different platforms that we also having. Yesterday, of course, we had a virtual meeting with young people in attendance about, I think, 2:15 or 2:30, whereabouts, where we are also discussing about disinformation and stuff like that. So it's something that we should not discontinue. It's something that we say on a daily basis, even in the polling units. You can still shun some persons from, passing wrong information.
Because I know most civil society persons and media, they don't even go out on that day. No. That's why I'm asking, because if you have a civil society presence or media presence in the polling unit and somebody wants to try, at least you won't shut up.
Yeah, so
and then you do the reports as well.
From my organization, those that we observing, we also inculcated that in the training we gave them across the state. 21 local government will be observing. So it's disinformation and misinformation programs should be every day, just like what in one of our advocacies we had with either police or civil defense. They lamented very strongly about get it quick syndrome. What do they mean? When election is coming, that is when civil societies are coming around to seek for partnership and all of that. Why not start this 1 year, 2 years, or let it be a daily and a weekly thing or monthly thing before the election, so that these things will sink into the citizens and all of that. So misinformation and voter party sensitization should be something that will be seasonless. It's something that we need to be doing often. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I think it's time for us to take a little break. And at this point, before Faith leaves, because she's leaving for a radio program, so before you go, we'll continue with the non-so later, but before you go, can you just ask them, Anambra, what's, from your heart, how you want this election to be based on their contributions?
Thank you very much. Anambra, I'm speaking to you. I'm from Delta State, just across the Niger there. Please, please, please come out to vote, because you are the deciders of what will happen on November 8th. If you don't come out to vote, you have also voted. understand that it is simple majority. Use your card, use your power and your right as the CEO of this state to hire and fire. Wow. Hire your next person that will govern you in the next 4 years. Whatever you decide happens. Continue to be peaceful. Let's have a better Anambra, a better Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Faith Mwadishi for coming all the way from Abuja.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, we're here also we'll return after going to the streets to see what people think about voting in Anambra on November 8th. We'll be right back.
Wow, it will be a wonderful one. If it is peaceful, there will be joy, there will be happiness, people will go back to their normal business, work, everything will come back to normal, people will be happy.
So now your name is?
Antonia Odigwe.
How do we make voting accessible for people with disabilities?
Yes, I think INEC has a provision for that. I think there is a policy coming up to assist the PWs to have access to voting. This time around, definitely their vote is going to count. Yeah, they will vote this time around. I think there is a policy on that going on, yeah.
If it is peaceful and it's free and fair, it will pave way for like a true leader to come in, and it will also give the people who like stand for our party to also come out to vote, and it will also like give us that security that we are always wanting, or that we're always wanting, something like that.
First and foremost, we will have peace, we have security, we will have joy. Yeah? Because there's nothing worse than war or violence. There will be peace, peace of mind. Everybody must be free, going out, coming in. But when there is no peace, there will be fighting, grudges. So we will have peace of mind. First and foremost, joy and peace.
We stand to gain a lot, like there will be no casualty, there will be no form of fight, and the election will be free and fair. And the masses knows that once it is a free and fair election, their votes will be counted. And they are the person of their choice, they will be expecting to see that the person embrace the winning. Do you understand? And if it is a free and fair election, a lot of people are scared of coming out. But once the vote is free and fair election, people will come out in full to come and cast their vote to their right person of choice. So I think Anambra State should embrace with free and fair election for the masses to come and vote for their people of choice. Thank you.
We embrace peace as well. Peace will be the benefit. If it's violent, it will be a violent process and a violent outcome. But if peace is embraced, then and enforced, then it will be to the benefits and credits of Anambra people. Anambra elections have always been known to be peaceful, so it won't be a surprise if this one goes in that mode.
Yes, so welcome back to Good Morning Anambra. This morning where we're taking a look at how best we can achieve credible elections on the polls, in the polls come Saturday. Just how many days from now?
Yeah, of course. That's what we've been discussing the past few minutes. Well, we've had really very very dependable guests right here to discuss this topic. Of course, a few minutes ago we let Miss
Faith Mwadishi, who was the executive director of CTA. Yeah, but now we still have Nonso Rakwe, the executive director of Katikoi. We held him bound. So we've just allowed our guests to go, but we'll leave with our people. So, before we left, we talked about disinformation and misinformation and how we're going to contend it through civil society efforts and probably other stakeholders putting in their efforts to do one or two things. But at this point, we want to actually take a look at INEC. INEC, you've worked with INEC, you've gone for trainings, you've gone for stakeholders meetings and all these, I don't know. But, during elections, INEC is never trusted by the people. That's why sometimes, I had a program with someone who was in the field, and she said that towards Regina Chelle, you know the place now, it's just in the town. While they were sensitizing people, some people said, leave them. We're not going to vote so that the vote has been counted. And that's misinformation. They have already done the vote. Why are we coming out? Do you understand? You see the level, and it's because of, when they are asked, they said it's because of activities of INEC in the past. So based on your interactions with INEC in this tranche of election, do you think, how ready do you think they are towards making this election credible and accountable?
Well, for the national headquarters of INEC, which had recently the new leadership.
INEC chairman,
Okay.
talking about Josh.
I can't really say much. Of course.
You can say much, that much has been done. Okay, based from
on,
Abuja?
Yes. I'm coming down to
what we have here. Okay.
So based on what we had, the leadership talked about during the peace accord signing on Monday, I think he came prepared, okay, because he was unfolding the manifestos, the plans, and all of that, reassuring Nigerians of of his commitment to have transparent elections. But trust me, here in Anambra, in 2021 elections, I was disappointed. And this very election that is coming, I am also disappointed.
Why?
Right.
What happened in 2021?
This 2025 election.
No, but
this
okay, was it
one,
the...
I'm also disappointed.
Okay, but let's talk about the present election.
That's
Why
what I'm saying. This election now, I'm also disappointed from the INEC.
Okay.
Why?
Good. Now, in 2021, we had a forum where we talked about, of course, you know, one of the packages then was Vote Not Fight, Election No Be War, that brought umpires from different states in the southeast. The Imo, the Abia, the Ebonyi, the Enugu. Of course, in Anambra, we had no representative from the INEC. Wow. When I put up, because the letter was on their table, the letter of invitation was on their table, I think a week before the program or 2 weeks before the election, and before the forum, stakeholders forum. And we kept reminding them, only to get feedback from the REC that I am not attending.
Why?
Please send the representative. I'm not even sending. I'm not in town. I've never had any engagement with her that maybe we had personal issue or something. So I thought it was a joke. She did not come. Neither did she send.
But she has been attending other, fora.
I don't know.
Related to elections in during this period.
I don't know. Then another one. This very one. We have also sent a letter of invitation to the INEC. The one we concluded at 3 points, we sent, and the letter came on time. In fact, the day my admin officer submitted that letter to her, she said, no, take this in.
Was she the same rec in 2021?
Yes.
But before then, have you had other recs, attending to you this way?
Nkwachukwu Oji was perfect. In fact, I've said it in this video in one of the programs.
Okay, now, do you think that this is not? It didn't just happen to you; that it happened to others. That it may even affect INEC's relationship with people and then their influence on the electorate.
The fact still remains that it will affect so many things, especially the civil society. Reason: the civil societies should be the eye of INEC in the communities. Reason: if there is an interaction, a good relationship between the INEC and the civil society, when you go to the community engagement, maybe sensitization, there are questions that are coming from the people, especially on the part of INEC. You have something to tell them. But once there is no engagement like that, you have nothing to say.
But does it mean that we need to lose hope on the activities of INEC during this period?
No, we cannot.
So why don't you lift the heart of Anambra?
I am coming to that.
Okay, let's do it quickly.
I am coming to that. Why I'm saying this is
We're almost done.
Why I'm saying this is this. It is appalling that we want a partnership that can bring hope, that can bring about trust to the people, back to the umpire, and we are having it this way. What I'm trying to say is this.
Let's talk to our people so that they don't get discouraged.
No, wait. Even as that has happened, I told somebody, I had a kind of media engagement like this, and they said, would this deter the morale of the people?
Yeah, of
or
course.
even myself?
I
said no.
Very important.
No.
So what's your message to INEC?
So my message to INEC is, come out and show people, tell people how prepared you are. Tell them on media space like this, ABS is here, other media houses are there. Come out and tell people how prepared you are. Get more closer to the CSO and other agencies that are working.
Should they make use of social media and social media influencers too? Because if it's talking about media sensitization, they've made some efforts. Probably some may say it's not enough. We've seen them, have media sessions with
my brother. What I'm saying in essence is this: in any physical gathering of election, INEC presence matters. Okay?
So let them do the needful.
Let them, and every INEC staff must not be busy at the same time. Okay. If the rec is not ready, is not free. So delegation of duties. They can delegate somebody to come and speak on behalf of the INEC. Okay, that will build trust back to the.
Remember that we're talking about transparency on the ground.
So that transparency is building the trust. If you the collaboration builds the trust. If you don't build the trust, then you
now the mistake has been made. What should we expect from INEC from the field?
The INEC is to the expectation from the INEC is to act normal, give the accurate result, secure the result of the people appropriately, and then
transparently transmit.
Transparently transmit and announce.
Thank you. Now, so to the first-time voter who may be afraid of insecurity, afraid of, I don't know what I'm going to meet in the field, afraid of being offered bribe, as in stomach infrastructure and all these, what do you have to tell the person, and what do you expect the person, should the person expect on the polling booth?
I think in the polling unit, a lot of activities will be happening. People will carry money up and down. And if you are truly a kind of an agent of change to make this country a better place, please, you can reject that money and do the needful. I've seen someone who rejected 300,000 naira in the polling unit just to crumble that polling unit to a particular political party. He rejected it, and the normal.
Are you sure it wasn't you? That's by the way.
Yeah, and the normal thing happened. A normal thing happened in that polling unit. You can do it as a first timer. Even those who are old in the system can as well do that. By doing that, we are building our electoral system and making sure, and also building trust to ourselves and also to the umpire.
Okay. Do you have any other things still be in there?
Yeah, a lot of things to say, but of course we are very much. We just have few minutes to go about that. So probably. We'll have that discussion another time.
So as we leave, can you, from the depth of your mind, look into the camera and talk to the Anambra on how best to achieve a credible, transparent, and accountable election?
Well, in the Anambra, I must be frank with you. Let us all come out en masse and cast our vote. Remember, if you don't cast your votes, the ballot paper has already, whether you like it or not, there is a ballot for you. There is a ballot for you. Whether you casted vote or not, there is a ballot in your name. So go and represent yourself by choosing who will be the next leader in our dear state. If you stay at home, you have lost it all. You have lost it all. But when you come out, you are encouraging this electoral system, and you are making a whole lot of sense, and also spicing up trust in the system.
Spicing up trust in the system. So you've heard it all. We need to go out and vote. As far as you have that card, was it not Faith Mwadishi that said that you are the CEO of this state?
Yeah.
So whoever you employ, that's the person that will stay at the government house. So why don't you do it very well? Do it the best way we can. Sean, what's it called? Sean vote buying.
Party.
Somebody said it's vote buying and vote selling.
Yeah.
Sean violence. Just be a good Anambra, because after the voting, we'll still come back to our state. And what do we get?
And you begin to complain.
That's it.
All right. So it's better you that strength where you go put for complaining, put it in going out to vote out, to vote or to vote in or vote out on Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. So make that
Well,
effort.
thank you very much, the Chief Executive Officer of Catch Them Young Community Initiative, Katikoi Nonsorakwe, for coming to the program.
Thank you, Ife. Please vote.
And
Don't
vote
fight.
rightly.
right.
Vote. Don't fight. You carry your
Election,
placard come now.
no be war.
You don't carry your placard.
All right, in the next few minutes, we'll be having Anambra 2025 Guber election, making voting accessible to persons with disabilities.
Yeah.
And we've got Comrade Ugochukwu Keke, who is the State Chairman, Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities,
And
Anambra State Chapter.
and Ajemba, yeah.
Yes, and Comrade
The
Chidima
PRO.
Ajemba, who is the State PRO of the same Joint National Association of Persons with disabilities, to join us in the studio. Stay tuned to Good Morning Anambra, the discussion segment.